Hello, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm really excited you're here. My name is Erin Perzewski, and I am a recovering corporate ladder climber and the founder and CEO of a health and wellness company called Alkalign. So as you can see from the title slide, today we are going to discuss the 5 simple shifts to create a thriving health and wellness business doing what you love. I have the fortune of doing what I love every day, and I want to share my learnings with you so that you too can live your best life. Okay, so I'm guessing you've tuned into other webinars where there's a lot of chatter and fluff and not a lot of substance, but today we are going to cut through all that, and my goal is to give you what you want to know as efficiently as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. Who this is for. This is for anyone who's deeply passionate about health and wellness and who wants to do it as a full-time job. So whether you already work as a fitness instructor, health coach, or body worker, or you have absolutely no experience in any of those areas, but you've always dreamed of starting a business that aligns with your love of fitness and health, this training is for you. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to be your own boss, even if that idea scares the crap out of you. How to attract your ideal clients so you spend less time on guesswork. How to free up your time so you can do more of what you love. How to build a thriving business so you can live comfortably and enjoy what you do. How to live with purpose and make money doing it. How to prioritize your own health and wellness and set a positive example for those around you. And how to achieve the work-life balance you've always wanted. My promise to you is that I will give you the exact step-by-step system you need to create a thriving health and wellness business. But before we get started with that, I just want to go over a few of what I call house rules just to kind of level set expectation setting. This is not a get rich quick plan. It's not a do nothing get paid model. Running a successful business involves work. And you got to be decisive. So no wafflers. If you struggle with making decisions, this probably isn't for you. When you run a business, you have to make a lot of decisions every day. So it's something to really check in with yourself early on in the process and, be honest about that with yourself. Speaking of honesty and integrity are non-negotiable. And results are earned, not guaranteed. So you got to show up, follow the plan, do the work, and your success or lack thereof is totally up to you. Okay, so before we get into all the good stuff, I just want to take a moment to check in with you, see where you are up to this point. Does any of this sound like you? Do you wake up dreading each workday? Do you experience Monday blues that extend into other parts of the week? Are you secretly terrified that you will remain stuck in a job you hate? Are you scared you can't earn enough money doing what you love? Have you put your health on the back burner because work, kids, and life are constantly taking priority? Do you worry you'll be judged by friends, family, and community for taking the leap to start something new? Are you secretly doubting your ability to be successful? And do you sell yourself short because it's less scary than the thought of failing? If anything on this list sounds like you, then I have good news. So none of these things are the real problem. They're just the symptoms of a bigger problem. And the real problem is that you haven't made what I refer to as the shifts. So we'll talk more about the shifts in a moment, but I just wanted to let you know, once you make them, you'll jump out of bed bursting with energy and excitement, completely leaving your Monday blues behind. You'll be liberated of the baggage that's holding you back from pursuing your dream job, your dream life, and your dream income. You'll have a renewed sense of purpose. You'll finally quit the job you hate. You'll exude a new level of confidence and happiness. Your friends and family will start to notice there's something different about you as your true self shines through. I refer to this as the I'll have what she's having glow. You'll have time to work out like it's your job, because it is. And you'll make money doing what you love. Okay, before we go too much further, let me just take a second to introduce myself so you know who I am and know why you should listen to me. As I mentioned before, my name's Erin Perzewski. No worries, there will not be a spelling or pronunciation test on that name at any point during this webinar. I am a functional fitness expert and a holistic health coach. And as I mentioned before, I'm the founder and CEO of Alkalign. We are a holistic health and wellness company that operates boutique functional fitness studios across the US. So my specialty and my passion is mentoring aspiring fitness entrepreneurs. So I help them leverage their time and resources more efficiently so they can run successful and profitable businesses while focusing on what they love. Okay, getting into the 5 shifts I mentioned before. So I want to, take a second and tell you how I discovered them. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I've worked with a lot of different people. I love mentoring other people, and over time, I've realized there's a big difference between those who are successful and those who are not. So some people are able to jump in, to a business or to anything in life and just crush it. They can scale their business quickly, and some continue to struggle. And so I took a step back. I started looking at the difference between what the top achievers were doing and what the other guys weren't. And I realized that it kind of boiled down to 5 things that the successful people have in common. And so I started incorporating those 5 things into my business, and I've seen incredible growth as a result. Okay, here's the bottom line. There's 5 key shifts you must make to successfully create a thriving health and wellness business doing what you love. Okay, and I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them in this session. The first shift is be authentic. This is the first and also happens to be my favorite. So as Oscar Wilde says, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. And that is so true. Authenticity is so important. So you want to know who you are and what you stand for. That is essential in identifying your contribution to the world. And I know you're probably thinking like, oh no, what did I sign up for? Like, just get to how to make the money part. And we will. But I really want you to take this to heart, because without authenticity, nothing else matters. Authenticity is having the courage to own your story, the real, the raw, the human, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Authenticity is being brave enough to take risks, accept imperfections, and to be accountable to yourself and those around you. Authenticity is not hiding behind or blaming others. And authenticity is definitely not ripping off someone else's idea and passing it off as your own. Authenticity is vital for true connection with ourselves and each other, and I'm a firm believer that human beings need real, authentic human connection. Authenticity is essential for personal and professional fulfillment. Authenticity is crucial for success. And to be honest, anything less than 100% authentic is a distraction and delays the path to success. So here's the thing with authenticity. To believe in something, whatever it is, and not to live it is inauthentic. And when you're inauthentic with yourself, that's how you not only fail in business, but quite frankly, that's how you fail in life. So it's super important to know what you believe in, know what you want, know what success looks like and feels like for you. So regardless of what other people think, you have to identify what matters to you. What is the life you should be living? Because you know what? Nobody else is living your life, right? It's you and you alone. So I know these are kind of tough questions, and it's hard to be honest and authentic sometimes because it's vulnerable. And we don't like being vulnerable. We don't want to be wrong. We don't want to feel rejected or embarrassed or, heaven forbid, that, F word, fail. But it really is essential. It's all part of the process, and we have to be true to ourselves. So, we tell ourselves all sorts of, stories, and we justify things all different ways. And I think about this all the time. I mean, how many days have you gotten up, or how many January 1st of a year have you gotten up and decided, today's the day, or this year's the year I'm going to fill in the blank. Today's the day I'm going to start exercising. Today's the day I'm going to start eating better. Today's the day I'm going to get out of this unhealthy relationship. Today's the day I'm going to quit the job I hate. We have those conversations with ourselves all the time. And then most likely, or more times than not, we end up not doing anything about it. And, I think about like every night I go to bed and I set my alarm for the next morning. And we kind of do that to ourselves, right? We set our alarm with these big goals and dreams for life. And then morning comes around and we push the snooze button on life, on ourselves. It's like that mañana, like I'll get to it later. And we have all these, justifications as to why we can't get to it today. And it's really important to get to it today because life is short and you only get one chance in this world. And so the sooner you can figure out who you are and who you stand for and what you're put here to do, the better. So be true to yourself and others. And, just to kind of turn that on its head a little bit, authenticity is really important, but the reality is that the world can smell a phony a mile away. So you might as well be authentic and you might as well be you because, as I mentioned before, everybody else is taken. Okay, that was a lot on be authentic, but as I mentioned, that's my favorite one. So moving on. Mindset over skill set. So this might as well be mindset over everything, but just to narrow it down, I'm going to say skill set. Mindset over skill set. We're taught to believe that the more letters after our name and the more degrees, certificates, and credentials under our belt, the better. So my personal belief is that this tends to prey on our insecurities. And life is already hard enough. Like there's a lot of competition and we're always like comparing ourselves to others. And we've got all this like chatter in our ear. There's the inner critic and the outer critic. And I'm here to tell you that all this stuff, this just simply isn't true. Okay? It's not the skill set you've acquired over the years. It's the way you approach life that makes the biggest impact on where you end up. So I encourage you to stop with but I need to do X, Y, and Z before I can take the leap. If only this, I'd be that. If I had this, I'd do that. Stop making excuses. I'm familiar with the excuses. We've all made them. Lean in. If you have the mindset, we can teach you everything else you need to know. Your success is 100% correlated to your mindset. And if you got the mindset, everything else falls into place. Use the secret weapon, which is a business in a box. According to the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, 30% of businesses fail in the first 2 years and 50% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Those are pretty alarming statistics, and trust me, you don't want to be one of them. You're going to invest way too much time, money, and energy in something you do not want it to fail. So the secret weapon is a business in a box, also known as a franchise. Franchising is the most powerful way to connect with your clients, to establish credibility and trust, and to hit the ground running with your business. So I included this statistic. After 10 years, only 16% of existing startups are still in business. With franchising, it's 90%. That's a pretty staggering difference. So just think about that for a second. So you have two choices when it comes to starting a business. You can start from scratch and you can create, test, and brand, write a business plan, find a location, establish a market, manage a build out, set up a website, identify the right clients. I'm running out of room. Hire, train, rinse, and repeat. And, this is a long list, but if the slide were any bigger, it would be much longer because there's so many things you have to navigate and so many decisions you have to make and so many guesses, quite frankly. You don't really know what you're doing. And so, you're kind of just winging it, and it's a lot. It's really overwhelming. So you could be inundated with that and as a result experience overwhelm, frustration, and the financial bleed that comes from trying to figure out all on your own. Or you can invest in a business in a box. So with a franchise, you get an already established business that works, a name and a brand that's already out there and people are aware of. All the branding, marketing, sales, and operational systems are set up for you. You get an opportunity to hit the ground running and watch as your business grows while you're focused on doing whatever it is that you love. And quite frankly, it's just a lot less risk. So with franchising, there are a lot of opportunities for efficiencies. You can cut out all the stuff that's already been done before many times. As I mentioned, the product, the branding, the logo, the website, the marketing, and you can leverage that secret weapon and the systems that have been put in place to make your life easier and to increase your probability of success. So not all franchises are created equally, and picking the right one's really key. You're not just choosing a business, you're investing in a partnership. This is not a short-term thing. You're in this, hopefully for the long haul. So you want to make sure that the one you choose has a great product that demonstrates longevity, an organization that's committed to innovating and evolving. And these two really go hand in hand, especially in the fitness business, because the whole fitness business revolves around short-term gains. So people are looking for the quick fix, the diet or the exercise that's going to help them, lose weight, strengthen, I don't know, the key to eternal happiness, whatever it is. Like, it's always promising something, but things come and go really quickly. There are a lot of fads and a lot of like flashy. Everyone's looking kind of like for the shiny penny or whatever. And when you're investing in a business, you don't want to be a fad. You don't want to be the thing that, comes and goes quickly. This is an investment longer term. So really recognizing whether the product has longevity and if the culture and the mindset is to be committed to growing and evolving is really important. Of course, you also need a proven system and a leadership team that's honest, authentic, and operates with 100% integrity. Like I said, this is not a business, it's a partnership. And the people you go into business with are, they have to be of the utmost authenticity. That's a reflection on your business. And, you also want to find a team that's there to support you every step of the way. So make sure that you find, when you're evaluating options, that you find something that has that, I call it like the X factor, that thing that's going to help propel you to personal and professional greatness, So it's not, I kind of feel like it's not just what you do in life or what it is you offer. It's really the way it's delivered that makes the biggest difference. So I want to share with you a case study. This is Kate. Kate is a mom of 3. And when she came to us, she wanted something that would benefit herself in mind and body. She's a former gymnast, and after the birth of her second child in particular, she was just really not feeling like herself. And so she was kind of looking for something that would help her provide financially to the family and that would also allow her to raise her family. So it was important to her that she wasn't doing something where she was going to have to outsource her kids to like a nanny or something like that. And she really wanted to build community and give back. So we actually helped her open her first studio in less than 8 months. And she is crushing it. Kate's a total rock star. She's very driven, super authentic, and knows what she wants. So she's been in business a few years now. And she's running a booming business that serves hundreds of happy clients every week. And she is, she's transforming lives. And I think the coolest part, just kind of watching her grow, is that she has been transformed. So as much as she's changing other people's lives, she has grown so much as, an individual, as a leader, as part of the community. And she gets to wake up every day and do exactly what she wants to do. She builds community, creates connection, inspires people to be the best version of themselves, and she's changing lives. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, she's making money and building a legacy for her family. So pretty cool stuff. Not a bad way to spend your days. Okay, so I'm throwing a lot of information at you kind of quickly. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a fast talker. But at this point, you know that you must be authentic, prioritize mindset over skill set, and use the secret weapon. So now let's take a look at how to leverage your time so you can work more efficiently and have fun doing what you love. Leverage your superpower. Okay, I really like this quote too. So, what is the ultimate quantification of success? It's not how much time you spend doing what you love, it's how little time you spend doing what you hate. Ain't that the truth? But living your dream and being successful is about living according to your own compass, right? It's doing what you value, what you believe in, what you want to do. And, nobody can determine that but you. So going back to the, authenticity and being true to who you are, that, ties into that. So before you can leverage your superpower, you must first identify your superpower. And that might come really easily for some and might require a little bit more unearthing for others. But know what you are good at. It's really important. It's also important to know what you're not good at. So identify what you're good at and do more of that. The other thing with we tend to like doing things that we're good at. So when you're doing something that you're good at, and if you like doing something you're good at, you're just going to be happier and more fulfilled as a result. And then on the flip side, as I mentioned, know what you're not good at and find someone who is, right? The importance of learning your superpower, leveraging your superpower, really leaning into that is crucial to, is just crucial to your success. And then, you want to find a team and a network, and my favorite thing, outsource the rest. So that's my pro tip for you today. Okay, so the difference between success and failure is knowing and accepting that you don't have to do it all on your own. So as they say, sometimes like deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. And when you invest in an established system, it allows you to focus on what you do best and outsource the rest. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it does rhyme. Hey, I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. So my background before I got into this, coaching and entrepreneurial stuff was in investment banking, and I was also a Six Sigma consultant, which is like an operational efficiency way of, managing business. And so I really understand the importance of maximizing outcome and minimizing things that don't produce outcome. So, you could call that, sometimes it's busy work, sometimes it's just operational inefficiencies or redundancy. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So this business in the box concept takes that burden out of creating something off your plate so you can focus on what it is that you like to do. So building connection and community, positively impacting your clients, being fulfilled in what you're doing every day. And that's all going to translate to, positively impacting your bottom line. So I've honestly, with all the people I've worked with, I found this has been the biggest differentiator between those who succeed and those who fail. Those who fail believe that they have to do everything themselves, and they end up doing everything half-assed, or sometimes are so overwhelmed, honestly, that they don't even get started. So leverage your superpower and outsource the rest. And then another thing that's really, really important is to invest in mentoring. So I love mentoring. I also love being mentored. Commit to growth and invest in a mentor. The result is a more lucrative business and fulfilling career. So I have a very strong opinion about this. Anyone who is committed to growth should invest in a mentor. That's personal or professional. And by the way, there's an inherent link between the two. So, we weren't just like put on this earth and, to know everything that we know, right? There are other people that know more and can guide us in different ways. And it's important to have a mentor to show you the ropes and make the other 4 shifts that we already talked about happen. I will say that being an entrepreneur can be a lonely existence, and without the proper network and support system in place, you can feel a little bit isolated sometimes. So it's important to find that network, and really the only people that understand what you're going through as an entrepreneur are people who are either going through it or have been through it, right? It's a different mindset. It's a different way about a different way of thinking about things. And that support and connection and coaching that you get from a mentor who knows your challenges, who understands your challenges, and can help you navigate through them is really, really important to help you grow both personally and professionally. So again, and that's all going to translate to the bottom line and your fulfillment. So mentoring is, an investment, but think about it this way. Doctors on average earn $220,000 a year. They train for 14 years and they spend on average $278,000 on medical school. And I realize that this, is different based on where you live and what specialty you're in. But the point being, if you grow your business to $20,000 a month, much less 30, 40 or more, just in the first 1 to 2 years, you're already ahead of the game, not just in earnings, but in time. And time is opportunity. So the more time you free up, the more opportunity you have to focus on what is going to yield the best return for your bottom line, for your bank account, and for you in terms of, your satisfaction and your contribution. So trying to do it all on your own is crazy. I have personally invested about $100,000 on training, coaching, and mentoring, and that's an ongoing thing. I mean, as long as I live, I will invest in me. And initially, that was a really hard decision, because of the expenses, and I had all the story and all these excuses. And I think ultimately when I really looked inside myself, I think what was the hardest part about that was admitting that I couldn't do it alone. I'm pretty, strong and independent. And that was a really, really tough realization for me. But let me be the first person to tell you that it's way harder to do it alone. It's also way more expensive. So mistakes are really expensive. So you want to try to minimize those and really figure it out the first time out of the gate. So I encourage you to find the best mentor out there and spend what it takes to work with them. It's worth it and you're worth it. Today I promised to help you be your own boss without it being super scary, how to attract your ideal clients so you spend less time on guesswork, how to free up your time so you can do more of what you love, how to build a thriving business so you can live comfortably and enjoy what you do, how to live with purpose and make money doing it, how to prioritize your own health and wellness and set a positive example for those around you, and how to achieve that work-life balance you've always wanted. Okay, so these 5 shifts alone are enough to propel you into a thriving health and wellness business where you can make money doing what you love. But in order to win, you need those 5 shifts. So to review what those are, 1 is be authentic. 2 is prioritize mindset over skill set. 3 is use the secret weapon. 4 is leverage your superpower. And 5 is invest in mentoring. Okay, now you have a choice. You can either take all the information I've just given you and forget all about it. You can stay where you are and wonder, what if? So that's staying in that, almost like the purgatory between what is and what could be. You can allow the naysayers to project their insecurities and fears in you, which they will. You can let that inner critic control the narrative. You can go back to the unfulfilling, mundane day-to-day life, and you can, always regret what coulda, shoulda, and woulda been. And you can certainly still continue to come up with a whole excuses of why you can't. Or if you're finally ready to make a change, you can decide you're going to pursue something you're passionate about, something that absolutely lights you up from the inside out. And if you want to live every day with renewed purpose and you want to contribute to your family, your finances, your community, and most importantly to yourself, then you have the option to start your future now. Nobody's going to stop you other than you. So when you decide, this is now my second When Harry Met Sally reference, but it is my favorite movie. When you decide, what's that line? When you decide what you want, I think it's more really of like who you want in the movie, but when you decide what you want for your life, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. And that's how I feel about, pursuing your passion. When you decide what it is you want and you dream like that life and you can see that future, you want that to start as soon as possible. So, okay, how can I help? My team and I have set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak with you personally about how this applies to your life starting today. And if you have challenges, which we all do, don't worry about it. Don't let that be, an excuse or something that gets in your head. We've seen it all and we know how to overcome it, and we can work through that with you. So what will happen is we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes and we'll help you work through what it is that you want. What are your goals? So some of these questions that we've been posing, we'll revisit those and help you, figure out what that is. And then we'll craft a step-by-step plan to meet your life and your business goals. And the best part is that the cost is absolutely free. But there is one catch, and that's that this is not for everyone. Here's who it's for. You must have a passion for health and wellness. You must be a person of high integrity. You must be coachable. You must be resourceful. You must be decisive. And you absolutely must have a growth mindset that is non-negotiable. You also have to be committed to your goals versus pursuing other people's expectations. So that's really important. Does that make sense? So if this sounds like you, book a session now. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we love mentoring entrepreneurial individuals and helping them achieve their goals. It's truly my passion in life. And we also know that you might want to open your own dream business, and we may be helpful in that. And so if that's the case, we can schedule a call to discuss and see if it's a fit for both of us. And if not, that's okay too. But I would encourage you to just book the call. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's alkalignstudios.com/apply. And I will say, go ahead and do it right now because spaces are very limited. We are very protective of our time. And so we want to make sure we're, speaking with people who are really committed to all these things that we talked about. And so spaces are limited. You want to sign up sooner rather than later. And when you click the button to register, you'll be taken to a calendar, like a calendar page with the available times. So go ahead and book a time, and then you'll be taken to a short application. So it's like 5 or 6 questions. Go ahead and fill that out so we know a little bit about you. We can't hop on the call with you until you filled that out. So that's an important part of this step. And what else can I tell you? Yep, click the button to register. Yeah. Oh, there's one other thing I was thinking about as I was putting this deck together. I was thinking about these, the 5 shifts and how it truly impacts the day to day, right? So we've talked about some kind of lofty life goals and sort of vision setting and things like that. But how does it translate to what you do every day? Because that's really important. How you spend your time day to day impacts, how you feel and all that. So there was this. I thought of this thing that happened to me last week. This woman came into one of our studios. She was a new client. I think she just walked by and happened to just, open the door and check it out. And when she came in, she was kind of like hobbled, holding her back. Like, just, I could tell from her face that she was in, a state of distress. And I said, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" I introduced myself, and she explained to me that she had a back injury. So something that I think had happened about 3 years prior, and just she kept re-injuring it. And she obviously, loves fitness. And so, when she would get a reprieve from the pain, she would try to go back to different types of fitness, things that she had been doing before, like running, cycling, boot camp, things like that. But every time she ended up more injured and in more pain. And so I talked to her a little bit about what was going on, and recommended that she try the 101 class, which is like a beginner introductory class. And anyway, long story short, I saw her the next day. She had come back to take we have a like mobility and rolling class. So she came back to take that. And, I obviously recognized her right away, and I said, "Oh my gosh, like, how's it going? How are you feeling?" And she started crying. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, what have I done?" And she said, "No, don't worry. These are tears of joy. Like, I have been in pain for 3 years, and I've tried everything, and nothing's helped. And after one, hour class yesterday, I have no pain." I mean, crazy, right? Like 1 hour, and, it was that therapeutic, restorative, strengthening and stretching. And she's like, I feel better than ever. And I just thought, wow, like, imagine the feeling of taking away people's pain every day. Imagine people hugging you and sharing stories of how you've transformed their lives. Like, it happens every day. And the cool thing about it is that when you impact someone so dramatically, they're a client for life. And I would go probably even one step further to say they're like family, right? Like, or friends or whatever. Like, you connect with people on such a deeper level when you truly and authentically, like, give them the gift of your time and your your help, right? Like, that connection, and you're providing something that makes them feel better. I mean, that's priceless. So anyway, I just thought that was cool. I didn't make it into a slide or anything, but I just wanted to share that with you. And that kind of stuff happens all the time. And it's amazing how fulfilling life can be when you're really authentic to yourself and you pursue something that you're really passionate about. So if this at all sounds interesting to you, go ahead and book a call with our team, and we'll set up a time to talk, and hopefully we'll speak with you soon. And thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.